A very good afternoon to you. So we're getting reports of sporadic protests in and around Gauteng. Tell us what's happening where you are.
Definitely, Blaine, a very good afternoon to you, and of course to our SABC viewers. We're coming to you all the way from Alexandra Township on the corner of 8th and London Road. And just earlier on I tweeted some pictures and a video of the U-Save here at Alexandra, which has been looted, Blaine. It's been totally cleared out. I tried to get comments from those who are investigating and assessing the damage, and of course I think they were too distraught to actually speak, and they were actually, busy with the task at hand, assessing the shops that were, looted, assessing the damage to the stores that were done. And of course, it isn't the first time that U-Save in particular has been looted, but I'm actually standing in front of a shop that was a foreign-owned shop. If I'll just step out of the frame and I'll allow my colleague Gabi to actually show you what has actually happened. When we got here, the store was totally cleared out, Blaine. I understand that these protests had actually started as early as 3 a.m. This morning, and of course have then continued even throughout right now in the afternoon. If I also just show you some of the remnants of the shops that were looted, what was looted, Blaine, we found this lying on the street, this bag of sugar, and of course the entire shop has been cleared out. We are told that the owner of the shop did not come to work, as that they were told not to set foot in the shop, and unfortunately this and along with other items have been cleared out of the store. But Blaine, I've got a lady who likes to remain anonymous, who says that she also took part in these protests, and we'll ask her exactly why. So ma'am, you spoke to me off camera. We saw those protests then KZN, then moving here to Gauteng. Has this any link to do with the former President Jacob Zuma being in jail, being incarcerated right now?
Yes, Jacob Zuma has to go to jail because everything is no more normal. There was COVID and there's still COVID. And then I just feel like it's right, he has to go to jail. It's against the law what he done, and then he just has to go. He has been breaking the rule, and before they told him he's breaking the rule, but he never listened, so he has to go to jail.
Can I just ask you a question? I saw you sitting on top of some cartons of cool drink. I assume that you've taken from the store. Why do you feel the need to actually loot stores, ma'am? Especially, these are people that work hard for their money, and today you've decided to just take whatever you want from the store.
Because South Africa is messed up. Every people of any country can just come in South Africa and do as they please, and come make shops and come do everything as they want and feel like. So I feel like those people they are doing right what they're doing because it's against the law, but they're just feeling like, look where they're living. They're living in shacks. They're not supposed to live like this, but it's Corona. Then you want to tell us to wear masks. It's not okay.
You've just said something very important. So you do acknowledge that these are acts of criminality.
Yes.
You do acknowledge that what you're doing is wrong. It's against the law. If you're found, you could be arrested.
Yes. They can be arrested.
And you're not worried at all?
Who's not worried? I don't know about them, but I never done anything. I was just standing watching the view, watching what they can do and what they are possible. But by other cities, they're also doing this, but we don't know why.
Okay, thank you so much. Thanks for your time, Mel. Blaine, there you have it from this young lady who wants to remain anonymous, clearly stating that these protests that happen in Alexandra have nothing to do with the incarceration of the former President Jacob Zuma. Although last night I had spoken to one of the organizers, and she also, I can't reveal her name, she had revealed that at that time they had torched the biggest supermarkets here in Alexandra, just a couple of streets up by Penn Avenue. And of course, the name of the supermarket is Freedom Supermarket, Blaine. It employs over 150, people, Blaine. So imagine the extent of damage, not only for the shop owner, but for these employees that now work there. What are the ramifications of this? Going home, knowing that the store where you actually work in has been torched, has been looted, and it seems as if there's no end in sight for now in regards to these these protests. We haven't seen police officers around this area. We've tried, scoping around Alexandra, driving through the streets of Alexandra to actually, check and see if any other stores have been looted, to actually try and see the extent of damage that was done to these various shops, Blaine. And of course, we will update you later on in regards to this. But I mean, the intention of some of these, protesters is to actually block off the main entrances and exits to Alexandra, mainly the London Road, of which we're not so far from, and of course the N3 Blaine, which is just by the other mall of Alexandra, Alex Mall. So this is the extent of damage that you have seen here. These shops, namely the shop behind me, has been completely looted. The owner of the shop was told not to come. There have been pictures circulating on social media telling people not to go to work, telling people to park their trucks, telling people to actually close their shops. And unfortunately for the shop owner behind me, everything that he owns has now been taken, Blaine.
Yeah, this is the complaint that we've been getting since yesterday, is that the ripple effect of such looting, on jobs, especially compounded by the situation of COVID-19, needs to be explored. And you say there's not a single police vehicle where you are. Very important point that you mentioned is that the owner was told not to come. Do you know when he was told?
Not at all, Blaine. Just actually coming here, we had to just speak to bystanders on the side that actually witnessed what happened. Of course, you could understand that they don't want to be seen on TV. One even said to me, if I talk to you on TV, I'll then be regarded as a snitch. But he had said to me that the owner of the shop was told not to come to work today, as I guess they foresaw what would actually happen to them. But I mean, Blaine, just driving around Alexandra, it's quite sad to see the ramifications of these protests. Some people have linked these protests, to the Free Zuma protests. Others have said that, listen, these are just acts of criminality that have now, infiltrated these protests as well. Because one person had said off camera, saying that, what is the whole point of looting shops and, taking people's livelihoods, especially throughout this pandemic? What is the whole point? He sees no point in that, Blaine. Some have agreed that the former president must not go to jail, and pinning their hopes on the constitutional court application that will be heard tomorrow. But of course, these are just what is actually left behind. If I'll just step out of the camera once again, Blaine, so you could actually see the extent of damage that actually occurred to the shop. The doors were broken, the barricade was broken. You have children now entering and, seeing what they can salvage, actually take from this shop, Blaine, that was looted through this morning. And I'm told that, some of these protesters, some of these marches are actually going further down throughout the streets of Alexandra, not only from 8th Avenue. So just probably to give you a background and extent, Blaine, Pan African Mall, or the Wynberg Shopping Center supermarket that was looted, is at the beginning, just right at the top of Alexandra, and that is by Pan. Of course, the other streets that come down are, streets like 1st Avenue, 2nd Avenue, 3rd Avenue, 4th Avenue. We have visuals there that were playing earlier on of men marching in front of the hostels at 4th Avenue. And of course, all these people actually going down street by street. They've reached 8th Avenue. We are told that they're going further down towards the other avenues. And of course, it'd be interesting to see if law enforcement agencies are actually doing anything to quell down the situation here. So far, from Gabi's seeing, we haven't seen police vehicles here in the area. But on video footage, we saw, some firemen trying to extinguish the fires, that actually occurred and took place when the supermarkets in Penn, the Freedom Supermarkets, was actually being torched alight. But just from the store owners, just from some of the people that are against these marches here, they're raising their frustration, saying that the looting shouldn't have happened. If these protesters have a just cause, let them raise it without burning any infrastructure and looting any stores.
It is indeed a developing story. Lots of variables, as you can hear from what Natasha is saying, to this story. SABC News on scene in various parts of the country, keeping you up to date. Natasha Piri, thank you very much indeed for your reporting. Folks, we've got to go. Thank you very much indeed for staying with us over the last 3 hours. The news continues on